All right, so the people of Kaduna are celebrating, let's say, 2 years of peace ever since the new regime. Well, you could recall that there's been a lot of testimonies against Nasir El-RUFAI as to his regime being a hell in the southern Kaduna. Anyway, this pastor or reverend is here to actually share his own part of the stories. It's a very, very shocking story about Nasir El-RUFAI. Like, seriously, no good thing is actually coming out as talking about Nasir El-RUFAI, the former governor of Kaduna State. As I talk to you, the people of Kaduna State are celebrating 2 years of peace without mass burial, without buying anybody, especially in the southern Kaduna. Let's take a watch and hear what this pastor say. It's a very touching one, and his testimony about El-RUFAI will shock you as well. I'll be right back. Let's just hear what he said.
Thank you once again. Considering the experience my people went through in the past 8 years of the reign of Alhaji Nasir El-RUFAI or Malam Nasir El-RUFAI as governor, today we can say we are in heaven, because at that time we were virtually burying 20, 30, 40, and even more in mass grave from one community to another community. Don't forget, it was during his tenure that even the people in Briningwari, in the other side of Kaduna State, terror was the order of the day. They couldn't go to farm. The fact is that in that 8 years, over 375 people were killed in Briningwari area. And in southern Kaduna, it can even say double that number. People could not go to farm. Children were being kidnapped. Parents were being kidnapped. The trauma was so much for people. But it's just 2 years, 3 months now. The situation has completely changed. And many people ask us this question: what changed? What happened? Simply the attitude, the role of governance. When governments disconnect with the people, when government becomes even the mouthpiece of criminals who torment our citizens, then we are in a problem. Sadly, this is not what is going on now. Unfortunately, this was what happened in the last 8 years, but now things have changed. The fact about it is that in the past few months, if not even a year or two, we can't even record even this kind of incidences again. We're forgetting when we were ever called for any mass burial. That is to show that if you have responsible leaders, leaders who care about the people, leaders who speak about the people, leaders who defend the people, criminals will not have a field day.
Especially considering that there have been, oftentimes there's a very common parlance, I would describe it as that when insecurity thrives, there is obviously a lackadaisical response in tackling these issues. How would you assess, Governor El-RUFAI's post-sentiments of some of the issues and security lapses that plagued Kaduna State, especially considering that he has mentioned that he truly does not regret how he ran the state at the time?
Every responsible leader will not make such an utterance, because you cannot say you do not regret the pains, you do not regret the killings, you do not regret the trauma that your people went through during your leadership. If you say that, that shows you don't even have a heart that cares, a heart that shows concern. But let's put it in this perspective. It is even sad to hear El-RUFAI today accusing the current government of paying bandits. After all, he was the father of payments to bandits, payments to criminals who were killing. He even said on television that he went out of Nigeria to give them money. And so if there is even anything there, then that shows that they learned it from El-RUFAI. But from our research, we realize that it's just his propaganda, because he is not happy that peace has returned to a place where he neglects, for a community where he abandoned, to a people where he do not care, and he say he had no regret for whatever happened to them. That's why he is now coming up with so many kind of stories to further confuse people. He has no evidence to show that such thing happened, but if it ever happened, probably they learn from him. So he should publicly come out and apologize to Nigeria for setting a precedent that some people are following. But let me also say something clear to Nigerians. I think it is wrong for El-RUFAI to turn the office of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria into an office of exchanging words and saying things that he has not even proved. He may have his differences with the NSA, but that shouldn't be an issue that he brings, because he is bringing an important office of Nigeria to disrepute just because to settle a personal score. Our nation cannot run like that, and that's why I want to appeal to the Nigerian government. The reason why we are where we are today, because government have never taken decisive action on people who instigate violence, on people who promote violence, on people who come to national media and speak to further create confusion, and similarly bandits and criminals who have been tormenting citizens. The law have a way of dealing with them. They just go about talking to people who probably have some political differences. These are kind of people that the law should take its course upon them, because such kind of utterance is jeopardizing even the security success that is being achieved, because we can say clearly from Southern Kaduna that there is success, there is a shift from yesterday. Today, we are smiling. Today, we are happy. We are no longer burying people. We are no longer paying huge ransom, as it has been claimed in some quarters, because we knew what we paid during the last administration to bail and bring back our people home, who were taken for no just reason.
That's one more question. Well, the previous governor also advocated a shoot-to-kill policy towards bandits especially, whereas, there is a current Kaduna peace model that emphasizes dialogue, inclusion, and trust building. Now, how do these very different security strategies affect the way local communities in Kaduna cooperate with the government on peace and security issues?
Yeah, you see, in the first place, we cannot address security with just kinetic approach. We have to also bring the non-kinetic approach, and I think that's what our governor is doing. But I know very well that the situation in Gwari is not even the governor's program. It was actually initiated by the community themselves, and they only needed the government support to achieve that in finding solution. Because these criminals are not spirit, they are human beings. They can be reached, they can be talked upon, and efforts are being done to make them see the need to drop their weapons, to make them see the need to stop the evil, to make them see the need to stop tormenting fellow citizens, because it is not good for them, neither is it good for the country. And if they have any grievances, they should speak out. And I think that understanding is coming and is yielding fruit. And so the kidnapping has drastically reduced, the killings have drastically reduced, though there is no non-negotiation in Southern Kaduna, but there are efforts by security agencies that is yielding positive results. So what we need to do at this time is to support government, to support security agencies, so that this new lease of life, this new peace that we are enjoying, we will continue to enjoy. But sadly, people who failed to give us peace are not happy with this new development, are instead coming back again to instigate and make insinuation that will further create confusion. And that's why we are speaking to Nigerians, especially people in Kaduna State, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, from the north or from the south. There should be no reason for us to be divided at this time. What we need to do is to further unite and find a lasting solution to our problem. If we do not solve our problems ourselves, no one will. The man who couldn't solve problems for us cannot now come again and further divide us or instigate us. We will know that he doesn't mean well for us, and we have to be careful with that.
Thank you so much for your time. This has been an interesting conversation.
All right, so what more can we say? When in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, the truth is established. So I was watching a program in Channels Television. Somebody came out too and was making an open confessions, just as this, that they enjoy more peace, that the peace has been restored not just to Kaduna, but in Southern Kaduna, that everywhere is very, very peaceful. People are going about their duties and their daily activities without having any fear or any form of atom of violence or anything. That the peace has been totally restored. They can't remember the last time they even had a burial, not to talk of having a mass burial as it has always been. So what are we talking about? That EL-RUFAI has a hand in what has been happening in Kaduna ever since his leadership. You can hear from the mouth of this man that leadership has actually been a problem of Nigerians. A lot of persons, leaders, in fact, the worst mistake we can actually do as a nation, as a state, is to have a bad leader, have a bad head. When the head is corrupt, the body will suffer it. And that's exactly what happened in Kaduna. The head was badly corrupt, was badly damaged, was bad. And that is why every part of Kaduna, especially the Southern Kaduna, because it has been established that even EL-RUFAI himself is a religious fanatic, is a bigotry. So he loves some persons and he doesn't or love some persons. And even a lot of approach that was made to reach out to him as regarding the governance and the state of the state, yet there was no improvement. So El-RUFAI coming now to preach peace and trying to convince the people, trying to confuse the people rather, that he doesn't want to bandit, that all he has instructed that all bandits should be killed, killed to the barest minimum, and no bandit should be given amnesty, nobody should be, rehabilitated and all of that. All those things that he's just preaching now. What happened? Why didn't he do it while he was a governor? Why bringing this advice now? So I just think that he's just trying to paint a picture of confusion, just to confuse the nation, to confuse the people and all of that, not to see the bad side. Well, I'm happy that people are actually coming out to give these testimonies about El-RUFAI and exposing him the more. But that's one thing people doesn't really know about power. Like I always say, that power is you can't have it all your life. It's People in power should know that they cannot remain there all their life. It's for a period of time, at most 8 years, and the way you played, the way you led people will actually determine the way. And look at what is happening to El-RUFAI today. A lot of persons will say that it's a karma of what he has been doing as a governor that has before him. So what are we now saying? Anyway, you've heard what really happened. You've heard all the stories. I'm sure you must have seen every other video that is trending about El-RUFAI. Let us know what you feel on the comment sections. Let us know what you think about El-RUFAI's regime. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.